Hello everyone, today I would like to make a review on a tow hitch for a Nissan Quest 2013. And I want to say nothing in my videos are advertisement for any manufacturers at all. It is just my review on stuff I purchased and installed. They do have brand names, so I will mention them. Okay, here we go. Here is a Kurt tow hitch, which I purchased at Runnings, and I'll show you some paperwork right now. Here is why I choose Kurt. I was researching a lot on tow hitches and wiring, T-harnesses, and bike racks for two of the vehicles, for a Nissan Quest and a Subaru 2009 Impreza that I've got. And that's what I found. Kurt had best design, in my opinion, the one I liked. None of the manufacturers had hitch, including the hidden hitch manufacturer that actually is going to be hidden underneath the bumper and not going to be seen. With this model, it's not possible to make one for it because of the storage well. It's actually flush with a bottom of the bumper. I'll show that later. So here's what I found. I found the tow hitch. It's class 3 hitch, 2-inch receiver, and here's some information on it. So, and this one is a bolt-in installation. Really, I will say extremely easy one-person job. I did it in my garage. So the price online was $352. One of their distributors is Runnings. That's where I purchased my tow hitch, and the price you get at Runnings, it's the same price they get it from the manufacturer. So if you can see, $352 compared to $228 plus shipping. They did deliver it to the store and I had to go and pick it up, but you can see total with tax and everything, it was only $263 again compared to bare price of $352, plus this price does not include shipping and shipping and taxes. So I also, since I am showing you all the receipts, I also purchased a, let's see, I have it on these. Oh, by the way, at the Kurt website you can find a complete step-by-step directions on installation and what tools you will need. Like I said, it's a bolt-on installation that looks just like my minivan, and the tow hitch looks exactly like that. That's what it is. I'm not gonna show you installation at this time since I already installed it, and it's a really easy installation. So basically it takes 4 bolts on one side, 4 bolts on the other side. The tow hitch has 8 bolts included, plus some washers, like lock-in washers and stuff. So this gives you all the detail installation. You can see this is the frame of the vehicle, and this is these are those 8 bolts. You do need access to the rear well. Basically pull the carpet down, there's some rubber plugs, you pull them out, you get access to the side bolts, and bottom bolts you can access from the bottom. You do need to remove that towing hook on the back, which tow hitch takes place of it on one side. It uses the same 4 threaded holes for the new bolts. That's your hook that you remove. The other side has already threaded holes built into the frame. So that's how that looks when it's already installed. These are the plugs I told you about. So you put your carpet back, and basically it also gives you all the information on the torque and, like I said, tools that you will need to use, and you end up with the final result. You do need to drop your exhaust system down on just one holder. You just pull it down, let it hang, so you have access on the right hand side to those bolts. But again, it's really easy. So here I have also from Kurt. Again, it's not an advertisement, that's the fact. That's what I got. A bike rack for built for 4 bikes. It folds, it tilts. It's got a attachment, so it can be used on a 1.25 inch or 2-inch receivers. It's got a strap, and it shows a little picture of a nice white vehicle after it's installed, but I will show you it's all on I will show you all on my vehicle. Here is some information on that bike rack, built for 4 bikes, 180 pounds, for a 2-inch or 1.25 inch receiver. And I like the build quality on both, on the tow hitch and the bike rack. So, and again, talking about the price, $290 online. Runnings, on the other hand, sold me that for, let's see, it's the wrong paper, for $189 plus $20 shipping, which total at $221. $290, no taxes, no shipping, and $221 with everything. So there is a big difference. And that installation also involved T-harness. Similar to this one, this particular one is for 2009 Subaru Impreza, and the cost is $95 online. I asked Runnings, and they had this one cheaper. I don't remember the price. So I could not find Kurt's T-harness for Nissan Quest 2013. They basically don't have one yet, and it's been a couple of years since they came up with that new model of a Nissan minivan, but Kurt doesn't have that yet. I was able to find it on a Hidden Hitch website. It looks exactly like the one I showed you, just a different manufacturer. And basically, since everything is already installed, I can show you really quick on this one here. You've got one wire of a T-harness that runs to one side of the tail light, and the other wire that runs to the other side of the tail light. This is your little pigtail that sticks out of underneath of the bumper to where you hook up your trailer to. This box goes inside and inside only of the vehicle because it's not watertight. And it also got a I believe a power wire and a ground wire that you hook up, and they tell you where it goes. You do not need to cut any wiring. That's what's good about the T-harnesses. And this module here, it actually transforms your signals from these wires into your 4-wire plug, and that's probably why it's so expensive. The one for the Nissan Quest, I picked it up at a dealer. This is a dealer of a Hidden Hitch in our town, and that T-harness cost me $75. It really worth the money. Like I said, you don't have to damage any wiring on your vehicle. You just pretty much plug everything in, route the wires, and you're ready to go. Okay, going back to the vehicle, I will try to show you that the tow hitch, I can try to show you underneath. you can see two of the lower bolts, and you can see one over there. That's the side bolt, one of them. So 4 bolts on this side, really nice even gap, really close to the bumper. Right here is your exhaust system, and right over there, that's that rubber ring that holds your exhaust pipe in place. You will need to drop that, and it is a fairly easy job. You just pull it off that tube over there, and your exhaust system hangs down, which gives you access to the bolts on the frame, to the holes for the bolts on the frame. Okay, here's some information on the tow hitch. And the reason why they cannot make one that is hidden behind the bumper is this. If you look down here, that wheel is flush with a bumper right there, so there is pretty much no room for a tow hitch to be hidden back there. If they do come up with one day, that will be great, because that will bring it up just a little bit more, because right now, as you can see, the ground clearance is really low with that tow hitch. It does hang as low as a rear suspension, so basically it's not lower than the lowest part of the vehicle, but if you go over some humps, or let's say you go down this driveway and you've got a little curb drop out there, you got to be careful. If your vehicle is loaded, it will catch the blacktop of the road. So you're always going to remember, keep in mind that you might touch some ground with that. That's the only drawback I see on this one here. And especially, you know, if you have extensions like a bike rack, which extends another foot out, so you got more leverage. That means you can get even closer to the ground when you go over the hump. So just watch out for that. Okay, so I also had to purchase a the hook and the ball, and I can show you them in just a second. So now I can show you what's down below that fake floor. So we pull that out, and here's we've got our insert, which, let me pull that camera off the stand and I'll show you closer. I've got some other stuff, my air pump, my ratchet straps. I also have my bolt here, the pin, and the locks to lock the trailer. Everything fits here just perfectly. I did have to modify this area a little bit. It is a styrofoam, so it's really easy to cut and melt. And what I did, I cut out this area here, and I melted out some of the material to accommodate for that bowl, so it will be flush with the surface of the insert, just like that. I also got a little bit access for the pin, and I did have to purchase everything separate. I believe Lowe's has that all, and this cost me somewhere around $5 ball was $7, I believe, and the ball receiver was $26. So since I'm here, I can show you what it looks like with a ball on. I'm not gonna put the pin on, even though I do like the option. It's a pretty cheap pin, but it does have that lockout option. When you lock it, you can put a little padlock here, so it's not gonna be easy to remove. it will give some protection compared to the more expensive lockable pins. I don't know, this I think this one is a go for me because we don't use that ball so often. We did pull a jet ski on a trailer just a couple of weekends ago to the lake, and everything worked out well. So what I got here is a 4-inch riser, and that's how it looks from the side, and it did give us a good clearance. That small trailer for the jet ski, as it's supposed to, was parallel to the ground. It wasn't hanging down or sticking up. It worked out really good. And since that ball is going to be stored inside the vehicle, I did not buy a stainless steel bolt, which they also had. It was I believe 3 or 4 times more expensive than the regular steel chrome plated bowl. And as you can see, in 2 days that we took that jet ski to the lake, it got some wear on it, and like I said, I don't care about that because it's stored in a relatively dry trunk. But here we go, we are here, and I can show you where the excess holes for the towing hitch, the ones you need to access when you install it. So all you do is just pull on the carpet. Let me check the camera. Okay, you should be able to see it. Hopefully I'm not getting on the way. They're right here, these 2 covers. Yeah, let me just pull the camera off. Okay, here they are. There is 2 on one side, and then just a rubber plug, and there is 2 more on this side. That's how deep you will need to go to get access to these plugs. So again, I want to stress that it is a really easy installation. On the other hand, the installation of the wire harness was a little bit of pain. With a help from my neighbor, it took us I believe around 3 hours to install that wire harness. Here's a little bit of that. It's a regular 4 wire plug, and that's all you can see right now out of that picture that I showed you. All those wires, they're hidden in the car now. So basically what you do, it gives you instruction, but that instruction is only quarter of the full-size page. It gives you 3 steps, it gives you no pictures. Well, it does give you some kind of picture, but from that picture and those instructions, you barely can understand what they want you to do. So you have to be smart when you do this. And what that involves, it involves pulling both tail lights off. They want you to take this panel off, which is pretty much has clips that clip in on this side and that side. I believe there's 4 of them, and it's got those clips here that are really easy to take out. There is one more here. Then they also want you to pull part of that panel off, and what you do, you insert a little screwdriver right into that groove there, push on a little pin, and the whole hook comes off, and you do it for all 4 hooks on the vehicle. I did remove that light. Basically you pick it up with the screwdriver, and I did use it as my light inside that area. Basically hung it down, and it gave me enough light to work in there, because that's the part where most of the wiring and the module, the black box module, goes in. Then you just pull. After you remove the hooks, you pull on that side carefully, preferably with a panel removal tool, and it also clips in. It's got 4 clips along this side. It's got a couple of clips going down the road on that side. I don't believe that anything holds it on the bottom. Just be careful, don't lose those clips. They do come off the panel, and they can drop inside the fender, and on this side I dropped one inside the vehicle somewhere, never could retrieve it. I did go all the way inside the fender down there, could not find it, and I did buy another one to replace that, the one I lost, but something to watch out for. And pretty much you pull that panel as far as you can. What I did, I put a screwdriver so it wouldn't go back, and I had some access to it, but basically everything there you do is your hands put in there past the elbow, and you are doing everything by feel pretty much. And they also want you to remove this panel too to gain access to the back of the tail light mount. And what you do there, there's some there's rubber bushings there that holds the wiring together. Well, basically where the wiring routed through the body of the vehicle to the tail lights on this side and that side. What you do, you make a little slice to accommodate for the wires that are gonna go on this side and that side. And then after I routed all the wires through, I did put some silicone before I stuffed all the bushings back in to make sure the grooves, the slice, the little slits I cut in the bushings wouldn't let any water in. So, and after I installed them, I made sure that my silicone stayed in place. It is kind of messy job, but I guess if you do that, it's better to do it the right way. So what happened then? The box, like I said, it goes inside here. It's got some adhesive, and you can stick it to a flat surface over there. There's a nice silver holder for the panel there, which has a nice shelf on the back of it, and that's where I stuck that module to. And then through this side, through this bushing, you push or you route several wires. The big block of wires goes in there. The only thing that goes on this side is the pigtail of our plug and the T-harness that goes to the light. Then the T-harness, when you unplug the light, it goes in between those two plugs, and all the wiring is remaining inside. I did route one wire that goes on this side right behind that cover. I used some adhesive tape to stick that wire nicely to the metal of the vehicle, just to make sure it's not going to be cut by any sharp edges. If you see any, just make sure you put some insulation in between the sharp area and the wire so it wouldn't get cut and shorted out. And then that wire comes out through the bushing on this side. It's a little T-harness again, and it plugs in between the tail light and the plug that goes to the tail light. So, and then my pigtail, I did put a screw and a little plastic holder, wire holder, to like a wire clip to hold it in place. You can see that white piece. Oh, actually I use a zip tie with an eye through that screw or little plastic push pin, and then I zip tied it to a wire that goes to the back or side sensor, so it's not hanging down on the ground. So that's what you need to do to install the wiring. It does take a lot of time. At least it did take some time for me, and it was much harder to do the wiring part than the installation of the tow hitch itself. I do like to do all the wiring job carefully, and because wiring is an important part of the vehicle, and you don't want that to get shorted out on you and lose all the lights and who knows what else. But that T-harness, it does cost $75, and it does take time for installation, but you do not need to cut into a wiring system, which is a really good thing. Everything is pretty much plug and play. And after that, after installation, we pulled the trailer, all the lights worked, no problem. So let me put all that stuff back together and I'll show you the bicycle rack. Okay, now I can show you the bike rack. That's what that looks like it. So it does have, like I mentioned before, a 1¼ inch tube initially, and it's got that insert to accommodate for a 2-inch receiver. So slide it in, and instead of pin, it's got something that I like. It has a bolt, threaded bolt with a hole and a locking pin, and that bolt is therefore so that whole rack does not rattle. So it's a rattle free, if I only can find that hole right here. So what you do, you screw that bolt in. It's a little bit slower than sliding the pin and locking it in place, even though you can do that. Then I take my ratchet wrench, which is a 3/4. Tighten it up, put the pin in, and you're good to go. And what that does, it stops it from rattling in your receiver. Works very well. When I have a bike on the rack, or just rack it by itself, I don't have any of that rattling from the back of the vehicle, which you do get with a regular bolt. It moves up and down, left and right, with a trailer attached to it, so it does make some noise. And it is a folding 4-bicycle rack. It's got a quick pin here which you pull out, lift your rack up, put the pin back in, lock it, and you're good to go. I'm gonna put a bicycle on. It is the second time I'm hanging that bicycle on this rack, so I'm gonna try something different compared to the first time I did. I'm gonna try to route it through the inside of the frame, even though it does work if you put it holders here and on the frame. So let's see if that works out. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna turn that a little, and turn that a little, so I can put it anywhere I want. And I want to try that very first holder. Okay, that looks good too. So it does, like any other bike rack, it's got flexible locks here. So I'm going to lock it just in case, and we are ready to go. It's nice and solid. Another thing I really like about this holder, by the way, as you can see, after the tow hitch right here, you got even less room, and if I drive down my driveway, I have to take it on the angle, not just drop off the curb, because I do hit my road with the end of the bike rack. Okay, so right here it has a wing nut which holds the top part of the rack from rattling. It does have an insert here. I will show it to you guys in close up after I get done showing you the options on this rack. It does have that plastic insert, and that wing nut helps to eliminate the rattle going back and forth. Actually, the insert helps it from stops it from rattling left and right too. So as you can see, with the bicycle on it and me on the top, I've done that too before we got a bicycle. So it will hold 4 bicycles. I did not have chance to put 4 of them on, and we only have 3 to full size on the kids bike. So, but I know it will hold all that weight. It is rated for 180 pounds. Everything is pretty solid. Well, even though it shakes a little bit, but there is no rattle that will be transferred to the vehicle. So, it also has an option of folding the rack. You loosen up this nut here, and I already have my pin pulled, so I'm going to put it back in place and pull it for you guys. So it's got a nice ring, and it's got that security strap, so you wouldn't lose your pin or your lock pin. So we pull that out, hold the bike rack up, push the pin out, get out of the way, and drop it. So now we have access to trunk. And I'm pretty sure it's just gonna get a little bit heavier with 4 bicycles, but you still will be able to drop it down. Not all the way, because that end bicycle is probably gonna hit the ground somewhere here, but you still have enough room to access your trunk. I do like the build quality of both the tow hitch, the bicycle rack. I did put some reflective. It does not come with it. All it has just a curved sticker on it. I did put a red and white reflector on the back of it, and I put yellow on the side, including this little one here, just I guess for a better visibility, so people can see that there is something at the end of the vehicle when they get too close, and hopefully don't bump into it. So here we go. That's an eye welded in with my lock on a cable. That's the wing nut I told you about, the pin that holds the rack in place. Here's that other locking pin, and a bolt pin that holds it tight. Here's another locking pin to fold down the rack. Each holder here has 3 ways of securing your bicycle, and all of these spin around so you can accommodate for any angle you want to. It does come with a good amount of the rubber locking straps. So you can see I have almost okay, let's just count them. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on one side, and I have 3, 4, 5, 6 on the other side. So you can use 2 of them like I do here. You can use 3 of them if you need to. And so far, like I said, I didn't put 4 bicycles on it, so I don't know if I have enough straps or not, but I really like that design. I had a bicycle rack before that will hang on the back of your vehicle using straps in your trunk lead, and that one was not as durable as the one we've got here. And honestly, I was scared on putting more than 2 bicycles on it, even though it was made for 4. Never had 4 bicycles on it because, like I said, I was worried about my trunk lead and the bumper it was resting on. So here we go. That was your close-up. Okay, I did cover the bike rack, I did cover the wiring harness, the tow hitch itself. So if you guys have any questions about anything I showed you today, don't hesitate and drop the line. Here we go. I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I'll see you guys next time.